Konbanwa, James desu. I just got home from Sangenjaya Heaven's Door, where I saw Rabi Rabi and Crispy Nuts, and I made a video for Beer Number 65 for my other channel, Lower North Swamp, in the massive ultimate collaboration instigated by Victor of Give Me a Break Man, that is. I'd like to talk a bit about a small problem I've seen with the list of URLs that is mostly maintained by Victor and often copied and pasted around between the various videos underneath that, yes, anchor video you'd call it. I believe I've mentioned before that I do tech support for a living for a manufacturer of switches, routers, and load balancers. There's a few different parts to that job. One is that I help our customers figure out how to use. Another is that when our customers find problems with our product, find bugs with our product, as I help reproduce the problem, and I help look for workarounds, and I help nail down the replication procedure so programmers and headquarters can fix the problem. On both ends of that, in both directions, a big part of what I do is figure out how problems happen and how to work around them and how to fix them. And if you add that all together, it basically means I'm a smartass for a living. So on that note, I'd like to talk about a small problem I've seen with the list of URLs. The camera turned around here. This here is the top video, the master video. And this is the master list of URLs of all the people who have participated in this collaboration. Now, if you look along this list, you'll see that most of the URLs don't have www or JP or CA or anything like that at the beginning, which is fine. YouTube can handle those URLs just fine. But if you look very closely, you'll see that some of them end in ... Now, if you put the mouse over it and just put the mouse over it, don't click or anything, you'll see the full URL there. Both in that highlighted in that pop-up window thing. Let's see if it comes up again. And down at the bottom of your browser window. That's the full URL. But it only displays the first part. And it turns, well, the first part, it only displays part of the URL, and it turns the rest into ellipses, into little dots. Now, this very first URL here doesn't have anything extra at the end. It doesn't have that watch response. It doesn't have www at the beginning, so it displays the whole URL without any dots at the end. And if you look further down here, you'll see some URLs like number 86, Guinness Stout by Diesel Bodine, with www at the beginning and a few dots at the end. And if you mouse over, it resolves into a full URL just fine. But the display has just a few dots at the end. Now next, if you look at number 87, if I'm pronouncing that right, Widmer Hefeweisen. If you look down the list on the right here, you'll see ... and so on. Now if you mouse over, if you just put your mouse over it and don't click, you'll see that the URL that's actually there, the raw text that's actually there, has the dots at the end. Now if you click on that, YouTube will give you an error. Sorry, this isn't Japanese, but YouTube will... Yeah, it just pops you back to the same video. It'll give you an error saying that the URL made no sense.
87 bottles of beer on the wall.
Now that happened because... Let's see. Liljet, not sure if I'm pronouncing that right, when she created this list of URLs in her video, I'm guessing this is what happened anyways, she went to Victor's master video and left click and held down with her mouse and just dragged the mouse over to select a bunch of text and copied that into her video. For URLs like this very first one that don't have the dots in the end, that's fine, but for URLs that have the dots at the end, if you mouse click and drag and copy, then what you copy will actually have the dots in it. And you'll end up with URLs like this that aren't really clickable. Now the way to avoid that, go to my video here, number 85, Kirin Aran Taste, Tastes like fermented fallen leaves. Get that nice autumn time taste there. I took out all the wwws, all the JPs, all the CAs, all the ampersand watch responses at the end. And I don't have any dots at the end. And that makes this whole list safely copyable and pasteable. So to sum up, to make a list of URLs, or even a single URL, copyable and pasteable just by clicking and dragging your mouse, you need to remove the www dot or ca dot or jp dot from the beginning, and remove anything after that first ampersand. And if you do that, whatever you put in the more info box of your video will be copyable and pasteable. And if you're copying and pasting somebody else's URLs, you need to watch out for those little ellipses, those little dots, because if you paste a URL with those dots into the more info box of your own video, then whenever somebody clicks on that URL, YouTube will spit back an error at them. So be careful to clean up any URLs before you paste them into the more info box, and you'll be okay. And everyone else will be okay. And if you watch out for what you copy and paste, then you'll be okay, and everyone who clicks on the URLs in your videos will be okay. And I guess that's it.